Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Sullivan family. It is Friday evening. Zoe is eating some nuts, leftover nuts from Christmas.
They tried to hide them from me.
But we found them.
Found
the nuts. So, why are we sat down on our stools in the kitchen like we're doing some kind of live or something? The reason being is because we haven't done this little blether with you for a long time. We haven't had a little chin wag with you like this for a long time. I didn't realise you were going to join us for a buffet.
We've still got...
Mind the screen. Oh, there's just so much.
Right. Look. It's full of all the rubbish chocolates
Can't do
that
it
nobody wants
anymore.
to eat.
I just can't do it.
I've still got a Cadbury quality treat. There's still mince pies, Christmas slices.
We need more of this now. I think that's Florence. Hang on 2 seconds. Oh no, it's alright, it's Olivia. Olivia's taken her upstairs. Olivia's taken her upstairs for us so we can join you on this little vlog.
Anyway, there's still an advent calendar. Whose advent calendar is that?
That's Olivia's.
Oh, she's not big and keen on chocolate, is she?
It's not just that, but Olivia is one of these people that likes to have Christmas presents still to open on Boxing Day.
She's not keen on chocolate overly. She likes chocolate, but she's not. She prefers crisps. We've still got matchmakers. Oh yeah, we have. And after eights, and you've got a massive bar of air up there.
I've got
basically
a bag of Toblerone bites up in the bedroom.
I've still got dry roasted nuts as well.
I've still got there's 2 jars of pickles. I've got to decide what I'm doing with the rest of my blue cheese because it's absolutely honking out the entire fridge at the moment and it's turning everybody's stomachs. But I love blue cheese because blue cheese is awesome. Isn't it? Blue cheese is awesome.
No, I hate blue cheese. It's rubbish. It smells funny. I only like cheddar.
Where you go now?
Get a drink.
All right, cool. So, guys, this is a little bit of a informal chat with me and Zoe. And like I said, we haven't done this kind of thing for a long time. And I thought, do you know what? We're going to do that today. We're going to have a little sit down when we're both free and available.
Which has taken all day.
All day.
Until 7:15. Is this 7:15?
Yes.
How did it get to be 7:15?
I don't know. The little ones are up in bed now, just settling down and going to sleep.
It's taken literally all day because we've both been busy.
Yeah, I did a tip run this morning and then I took the kids out for Sweetie Friday, which is what I normally do. So we're trying to keep that
I had to do shopping.
going. But it was really cute because Florence pushed her little buggy and her baby all the way to the shop and back, pretty much all the way back. So that was really cute.
Loves that baby.
Yeah. But we just wanted to have a chat about what we're thinking about for 2025. Talking about some stuff.
What have you done to your face?
I think I was a little bit vigorous with my razor this morning and I nicked myself. But I do need to get some new ones.
Is there none in the cupboard?
I've got one left.
How have you used all them?
Hey? Well, you've got to change them.
Yeah, but are they not supposed to last longer because they're more expensive ones?
No, they're Harry's razors. I use one for at least a week or sometimes 2 a week, at least a week.
I thought I bought some new ones before Christmas.
But I think I nicked myself this morning anyway. That's what that is. But because I'm permanently on clopidogrel, which is a blood thinner, it kind of if I nick myself at all, I've got to wear a plaster all day. Anyway, that's by the by. So we wanted to talk about 2025, to be honest with you, and to kind of have a look back at 2024 and just say thank you so much again for all of your support last year. Raising £2,265 is nothing to be sniffed at. It's an amazing amount of money. So thank you so much to everybody for helping us raise that for MFR Cash for Kids. It was quite a tough year, I think. Only tough in that we had some major changes. So like 2024 for me meant it was the first year I was ever working for myself or for ourselves.
Yeah, we became self-employed.
We both became self-employed, joint self-employed. So you know, that was a new thing for us. Obviously, we spent a year now in this house, haven't we? Just over a year.
Well, 2 years this summer.
It will be 2 years this summer.
Will it?
Yeah, we've done a year, so going around again to August will be 2 years. So it's been getting used to a new house, and as anybody knows, it takes you quite a while to get used to a new place. I think you're thinking about doing a little tour around the house, aren't you, as well, at some point? Isn't when we talking about that?
Yeah.
Because we haven't done a tour for ages, have we?
I don't know if we've ever done one in this house, to be honest.
Have we not? I can't remember. I think Zoe's thinking about doing a little tour
I
around
don't
the house.
think we've ever done one.
At some point. All that feeds into 2025.
Yeah.
It's gone really quickly. It's gone really quickly. Yeah, like totally. Zoe's, well, we've all been dealing with, but Zoe more than anybody. You had the news about your mum, didn't you?
Yeah.
So just to expand a little bit on that.
I think have I written about it or spoken about it? Obviously, Mum's still going through.
I don't know.
She's still having treatment for cancer at the moment.
So Zoe's mum has cancer. I don't know how much your mum wants us to go into it, but I think we'll just say she's got cancer. And it's been a bit of a shock, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a shock. Just reminds you as well how fragile life can be as well, doesn't it? Just brings you back down to earth a little bit with a bump. So that's been for the last how many months now? Is that since we heard news? 6 months. And
a bit longer. 6 months.
Your mum's now waiting for more treatment, isn't she, in the new year? And then we'll just have to see how it all pans out.
She's still having treatment at the moment, so it's
difficult, isn't it? So that's one of the major things that's going on with us at the moment. Obviously, all the children know as well, and the older ones understand a little bit more than the younger ones, but we've tried to explain it to them. And just, you know, your mum came up to visit, didn't she? But she didn't have the same energy as she normally
visit for a few days, didn't they?
Normally would, yeah. But it's lovely to see them. But
although
again,
we thought we'd take them for a nice relaxing walk, because obviously Mum's not got very much energy, and
it's like a force 9 gale.
Yeah, I thought we'd just go somewhere local. We'll just go for a nice little walk. Just won't take too much energy. No, it was like a force 9 gale, and then I felt really bad because I'd said, "Oh, we'll go and get a coffee at the cafe across the road," and we all sat there freezing.
Table cafe,
because it was so damn windy. But these things don't always pan out as you wish.
It was nice to see them, though. It was nice to see them, and I know we've talked about Audrey being.
We normally see them a lot a lot more, don't we?
Yeah,
and it's
we do.
Because they make the effort and they come up here to visit, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they normally stay a lot longer, and we normally see them a lot more than we have done. I mean, we speak every day on the phone, FaceTime every day, so the kids see them every day on the phone, don't they? They see them all the time and chat with them, and like shove things in the phone and show them all their Christmas presents. And so it's that's all they've really ever known, isn't it? Because they've always lived away, the younger ones. So that's kind of how the relationship is. Obviously they love it when they get to actually see them in person, but they're part of their lives constantly all the time, because they're on FaceTime all the time, because they see what they're doing, chat with them all the time. So they're kind of there but not there. It's a different relationship, isn't it, when you live away? But yeah, they like to show. I think they've been shown every single Christmas present that they've got, and heard the guitars and everything else. So they get shown around the house and everybody's stuff, and it just makes it slightly easier being so far away, doesn't it? Not much, but slightly.
I mean, it's even more important now, isn't it? The FaceTiming and all that kind of stuff that we keep in touch with Audrey and see how she's doing and all those sorts of things. And I know there's been comments in the past when we've kind of talked about the subject a little bit in previous vlogs well before Christmas. And I know a couple of people came on and said, "Well, why didn't you go down and see your mum?" and all these sorts of things. Come on, but the thing is with that is that obviously we're not millionaires,
It's not as straightforward
It's
as that
not as
either.
straightforward
You
as
know,
that.
when Mum was going through her first lot of chemo,
Yeah.
she wasn't well enough to have
No.
anybody around her, so it would have been pointless. You know,
Yeah.
it would have been. There wasn't anything that we could have done. The kids couldn't have been there. Obviously, that's another thing as well. Kids carry all
Germs.
sorts of germs, don't they?
Yeah.
And that would be a worry for me
It
as
would.
well. So it's easy for people to say stuff, but it's never quite as straightforward.
I mean, there's a lot of we've looked into travelling to Cornwall so many times, and especially this last year, and the logistics of it are difficult, doable but difficult, and expensive, and all that sort of stuff. It is very important to us to factor all of that in, and also we are planning to go to Cornwall if we
I'm
can.
determined to go home this year.
Yes. That's obviously going into what we're going to say about our 2025. That's one of the things. But again, there's a lot of planning. There's a lot of, how-tos and what do we do? Do we drive? Do we fly? Do we do all this? So there's a lot of questions.
I think the other
still
thing is
to
as well,
answer,
I mean,
isn't there?
yes, I could hop on a plane and go down there if I really needed to. But also, the older children are older, and it's okay for me to go, but they are very close as well, aren't they? And they're not kids
they are.
anymore. They're all older teenagers, 17, 18, 19. So it's that they all will want to be there and do something and everything as well. So it's different. I can't just it's not just as simple as just going off. We do everything together. They
family.
are just as much a part of it as anything else. So
Yep.
but I'm determined for us to go home this year.
Definitely.
I'm determined to go home.
It's just figuring out how. Obviously, the problem we've got is, and the problem that many families are facing at the moment. Obviously, we've just now decided this last year that YouTube and any other social media income will be our income. I now don't have a traditional job where I go out to a job and I work for them. We now work for ourselves. So it's kind of taken a step back, if you like, very slight step back, but we have to do that to then grow and put more investment into what we are doing to grow the channel, to grow our social media, to then have that as a very successful income later on, which is what the dream is, what the ambition is, But with that is, unfortunately, the cost of living. And as everybody knows, every time you take a step forward at the moment, I mean, I don't know what it's like across the world, but especially in the UK, every time you take a step forward and you progress and you earn a bit more money or whatever else, you're dragged 2 steps back by something. And be that tax, be that electricity, energy. They've just raised the cap again, haven't they, for energy? So you're now paying more energy a year. And anything else, the cost of living at the moment, it just keeps creeping up and up and up and up and up and up. And that's the unfortunate thing of, unless you're a millionaire, where you can just drop everything and go and spend 6 months somewhere and live your best life and all that kind of stuff. You've got to factor so much in, and that is being at home and sorting out the bills and the rent and everything else, isn't it, or mortgage or whatever. So that's been difficult as well, isn't it? To kind of the financial side of it is quite difficult as well, but because that's been quite a tough year as well, hasn't it, really, with the cost of living?
It's been quite tough for everybody, really.
It has.
We're kind of lucky we're sort of managing okay most of the time, but it's not, there's not much spare left over, is there? But there isn't for anybody, and we're lucky that we kind of have got some.
Yeah, well, we've just done Christmas, and we had a lovely Christmas, by the way, and we hope you did as well. Obviously, you've seen our Christmas.
Yeah, the problem is we have Christmas, which kind of skints everybody out, doesn't it? And then a month later, we've got 4 birthdays, so we're
double birthday.
We're already thinking that's without your birthday. We're already thinking, right, we need this X amount of money to put aside in January for the twins' birthday, all the twins' birthdays. So that's kind of anybody will know with children with December or January birthdays, of which we have both. But when it's one, you kind of can put. When there's 4 of them, it's even more expensive.
Yeah, it is. So we have to kind of plan for that all year. We have to say to ourselves, you know, we've got this big expense in January, and especially because I want to go to, you know, we're going to have something special for my 50th, haven't we? I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's fine. Honestly.
Maybe we'll go for a meal.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, going into 2025 now, obviously 2024 has been fantastic. I mean, like I said to you, we raised the money for Cash for Kids. Thank you so much for your support. We've gone up by about 4,500 subscribers, which is amazing. We'd love to now go into 2025 with full throttle with Afterburners on as well, and try and get even more, you know, subscribers and followers and stuff. And we are still going to be doing as many videos as possible every week to do that as well, aren't we? And also to say thank you to you guys for supporting us and watching all of our videos as well. I've kind of gone off on a tangent there. We're talking about birthdays, aren't we? Sorry, I've just gone off on a bit like on a live. I've just gone off on a tangent. So we've got the birthdays, haven't we? And then going into.
And then 10 days after that, we've got Toby's birthday.
Yep, we do. So what are our plans for 2025 then? I mean, do we have plans, or are we just going to see what happens?
We don't really do resolutions, or, I mean, there's goals, isn't there? There's goals, there's kind of plans, but we don't really do like resolutions, massive changes, that kind of thing, do we?
No.
But there are a few things that I want to kind of achieve.
Yep.
Or not necessarily achieve, just.
Well, do you know what it is? I think it takes you years and years to realise that when you make a massive change, that's it, I'm doing this. Yeah.
It never works.
It never really
I
works.
had this conversation with one of the kids the other day, that if, one of the older ones, that if you are doing something that you don't really want to do, you're never going to put your full heart and soul into it. If it's something that you are really not wanting to do, it's going to be, or if you're trying to give something up that you really don't want to give up, or you can't see the reason for giving it up or whatever, it's not the time to do it. You know, it could be that 6 months down the line you feel differently, but at that moment, if you're it's like giving up drinking or smoking or any of those things. People always say that if you try and do those things when you're not really ready to do them, it's not going to work. Or when you don't really want to do it, so you're always looking for that excuse, that kind of, oh well, I can't do it today because, you know, it's like everybody was, when you walk into the shops, I put this in my post, didn't I? You walk into the shops and everywhere is diet and fitness stuff, and you see people throwing all their Christmas food in the bin because they're going to start, and it's just like, you know damn well you're going to find some chocolates and you're going to eat them, because you can't just suddenly cut everything out.
You can.
You know, yes, we overindulge at Christmas.
Everybody does.
We eat a bit too much, and yes, we will go back to eating, you know, a little bit more healthily and all of that. But I think years of crazy dieting for me, eating disorders and everything else, has taught me that it's just
not worth it.
No.
That does lead us nicely on to what we were talking about this morning, though.
Yeah. So we both, years ago, I always wanted to take up running. And when Toby was born, so Toby's just about to turn 12. After he was born, well, not straight after he was born, but when he was little, and I must say, it can't have been that long after he was born, actually, because we moved here when he was quite little.
And you got into running pretty quickly, didn't you?
Yeah, so I started running after he was born. I mean, we moved here when he was like
tiny,
5 months old.
Coming up in the minibus.
I remember I started to run in Benson. Now I'm not a runner, but I thought, no, I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. So it must have been quite soon after he was born, because we moved here when he was 5 months old, and I'd already kind of been running for a few months. I hadn't realised that, actually. I must have started quite soon after he was born.
Yeah. I think it was because there was always a nice run around Lossiemouth as well, wasn't there?
No, I started in Benson.
Did you?
Yeah, when we lived in Benson.
Oh, yeah. I was running as well. Yeah.
Started when we were in Benson.
We did.
That's what I mean. He was born in the February, and I remember running around the village.
Yeah.
And it was hot.
Because I used to.
We moved in July.
Because ironically, I used to run up to the McDonald's and then round the McDonald's and then back on the main road. Yeah. And that brought you back into Benson Village.
So he must have been doing it it must have started running long after he was born. But anyway, I wanted to start running, so we did. And then we moved up here and carried on running. I did the couch to 5k, and we were doing like 3, 4, 5k's a week, weren't we? I was up to about 10k, so were you. But as with anything, I sometimes get a little bit obsessive.
Do it too much.
And then it became more about losing weight and dieting and running. So I kind of got into that old mindset that I used to have when I've had an eating disorder, where, you know, eat less, train more, that kind of slipped back in. And then I think you went away on deployment, didn't you?
Yeah, if I was at Benson, I would have been.
No, it was when Lossie.
Oh, was it Lossie?
We carried on like.
Yes.
For
Oh,
ages.
sorry. I was still running around Benson. Were we up with Lossie?
We moved to Lossie when Toby was 5 months old, and then we carried on.
Yes,
didn't
we did.
And then we started. If you remember, we started using the gym at Lossie quite a lot on camp. And then you went on deployment.
I did.
And obviously, I couldn't go out running anymore. Because I had nobody to look after the kids. So it's kind of, when you go away on deployment, it's all on you, isn't it? So it was all on me.
Everything's on hold.
And then after you got back from deployment, that's when we got pregnant with the twins.
That would have been the Falklands.
Yeah. So then I was pregnant with the twins, and I never went back to it. But last year, at the end of you see people out running, and I do miss it. And then the end of last year, November, December, or really into last year, I started thinking that I really want to go back to running again. Not so much for the fitness, although it would be nice to be a bit fitter, but more so for the half an hour of headspace. I think especially since Mum's been ill, I've needed a little bit of time sometimes to just clear my head, just to have some. And I bought AirPods because when I'm in the lounge and I'm on my laptop working or anything like that, I need to cut out all the noise. And obviously there's always people in the house, and when the little ones have gone to bed, I might be sitting in the evening working on the laptop, and the big ones are around. I'll put AirPods in, and the plan was, if my AirPods are in, leave me alone because I'm working. But they come and tap me on the shoulder. Noah's terrible for it. Come and tap me on the shoulder, and they're like that. And so then you're taking them out then, and you're like, what? And they want to show you something. You're like, yeah, thanks, that's great. I've lost my train of thought now, but now I'm going back. So,
I mean, it comes with the territory, having 12 children, and we're always there for them. So it's fair enough.
But sometimes you just need that time to switch off.
You do.
But I found myself lately just kind of needing that little bit of 20 minutes, half an hour where I can just
switch off,
have some thoughts of my own. So I really want to get back into running, but I have a bad foot and a bad knee, so I'm not sure how well it's going to go. But I'm going to try and start doing the couch to 5k again, and I would like, at some point, there's lots of fundraisers you see online, especially cancer research ones, run 100 miles in February, run 5k a day in January. But obviously they do a different one every month. So at some point during the year, I'd like to, when I feel ready, to sign up to kind of one of them, whichever one it may be, April, May, June or whatever. And that will kind of be one of our fundraisers, I think, for the year.
We've kind of had a discussion about what we want to do this year, because obviously we had such a successful year with the MFL Cash for Kids, but we're not sure. So we didn't want to dedicate ourselves to doing X, Y, and Z. So what we thought we would do is just go through the year, and if there was something like Zoe said that she was going to do a run for charity, and there was a proper charity page set up and all that good stuff like we have done in the past, and that's kind of what we'll do. I'm thinking as well about doing a couple of beach cleans. I want to do. I wish we could have done. I wish we'd done more really of the beach cleans, because the kids love them as well, and they're good fun. And we love the beach,
Yeah.
But as for the running side of things, I used to run all the time as well, didn't I? So I used to run 10k sometimes in my lunchtime.
I don't think you would.
I couldn't run now, no, because I had an accident with my foot in 2016, and something fell on my foot at work, and I didn't think anything of it because at the time it wasn't painful or anything like that. I just didn't think anything of it. But months down the line, it was probably about a year later, I couldn't walk on my foot, and it turned out that I crushed my navicular bone, the bone on the top of your foot. I'd absolutely crushed it. So I had to have reconstructive surgery. The RAF put me through it. Got reconstructive
How
surgery.
is it not painful?
Hey?
How
I
is it
didn't
not
know.
painful?
I don't know. It literally shattered the navicular bone on top of my foot, and I just went on running. I was doing all sorts.
Maybe you made it worse. by
Maybe that's
doing
what it
all
was.
things.
Maybe that's what it was. But by the end of it, I couldn't walk on my foot, and I ended up having to go and have. I think I've got about 8 screws and a big bolt and all sorts of things in my foot. But I can't run on it.
You can't bend your foot.
No, I can't bend my foot. But what I can do for my thing, because we've both said that maybe what I will do is I'm thinking of doing the school run in the morning and then going for a half an hour walk. And then what I'll do is I'll film it as well. Not necessarily a vlog for YouTube, but
I think
just have a little share as well.
Sometimes it's important as much as because I will quite happily stay in the house for days on end and not go out. I'm quite happy in being at home with the kids and everything out, but then all of a sudden you realise that I've not been out, and I haven't realised that I've not been out the house unless it's to take people places. So I think it will be probably good for me, especially. I also got an ice bath for Christmas because cold water therapy apparently is very good for your mental health, for your mental well-being and all those sorts of things. So I'm going to try and combine the two things. I think 2025, I just want to take a little bit of time to maybe concentrate on my mental well-being a bit more. Because having suffered with poor mental health in the past, I know how quickly it can take over. And I mean, I'm fine, everything's fine, but I know how important it is to take care of it. And I think I need to take a little bit of, before I've, over the years, when I was younger, I would drink to kind of make myself feel better, going out drinking with your friends, drinking too much, binge drinking, all that sort of stuff. It never works because you just end up feeling worse the next day. There's been lots of ways over the years that I've kind of tried to deal with anxiety and depression, mental health, and none of them really work, because at the end of the day you have to kind of face it and take control of it, and you have to know that you need to take care of yourself. That's really masking it with all these other things. I mean, yes, I take medication, and in some ways people would say, well, that's masking it, but in my mind, and in most people that take medication, it's an imbalance in your brain. So that just balances it out. There's, that's not taking the cheats way out or anything like that, because that's how I used to feel about medication. But it is important to be able to see it coming, I think. And I'm much better at doing that now. I know that if I'm having a bad day, just to let myself, I would give myself a really hard time about not doing this, and this. I still do that, but not as much as before.
No.
And I'll think to myself the next day, that's why it was. I was having a bad day, and you can't always see that you're having a bad day until the next day. But you need to give yourself that time. And I just want to take a little bit more control over my mental well-being, if you like, so that I can give myself that little bit of time and space.
Yeah.
So that I don't kind of crash. Because like I said before, I would keep going and going and going and going, and then you crash. I can't cope with anything at all. I don't ever want to get back there.
And the thing is as well, with our lifestyle, it is busy. And it's non-stop, and we're on the go from, at the moment we're having a little bit of extra time in the morning, but we're on the go from like 6 a.m. till 11:30 at night, and that's absolutely fine. That's what we signed up for, and that's what we enjoy. We enjoy having a large family, we enjoy doing YouTube, we enjoy doing all those things, because even like doing social media, and YouTube has given us this avenue, this outlet, and also this now source of income for us, which is great. But equally, sometimes you're like a machine and you just keep going and going and going, and sometimes you just need, we've had this conversation this morning, haven't we, about not so much having like a whole day to yourself where you go fishing all
half an
day or
hour.
anything like that. It's just half an hour to yourself.
That's it.
And
That's
just
all
go
you
for a
need,
walk.
really, is just half an hour. And I think having lots of children and being at home all the time, as much as I love it and I'd never ever change it, you are on demand all the time.
24/7.
Everywhere, even in the toilet.
Yeah.
And that, whilst I love that, and I absolutely cannot even bear to think about when they move out, because I don't know what I'll do when I'm not on demand all the time. I'll feel it's just too much to even think about. I think you do sometimes need to just have that little bit of
They call it me time.
yeah,
Me
but
time.
I hate it when people say me time. I hate that. But it's true, you know, you do for your mental well-being, and for me, half an hour is enough. Half an hour out for a run or whatever is enough for me, and then I can think. I think for me, I need to be able to think clearly. When I can't think clearly, that's when I start to struggle. When I can't put my thoughts into formulation properly, that's when I start to struggle. So it's kind of, for me, I can feel myself kind of getting a little bit jumbled with lots of different things going on, and I need to take a little bit more control of that. And I think half an hour, you know, just out thinking, just kind of put things into place a little bit better.
Definitely. You definitely need that. But that kind of leads on to me talking about Joseph and Flo, because obviously Joseph and Flo are homeschooled.
Well, Flo's just a baby, but you know, she's doing the same things as Joseph is doing.
Yep. So homeschooling is going to feature massively this year for us. I mean, it has anyway. But what I mean is we're going to have not too much structure, but we're going to have a little bit of time set aside every day for doing certain things. And if I do choose to have a walk in the morning by myself, then what I'm going to do is I'll take them out, as long as the weather's okay. It's been really difficult, to be honest, to get Joseph out, especially with the weather, the way it's been. It's been very, very difficult. And in fact, he's had a tough he's not been bad over Christmas, too bad, but he's had a tough few weeks with...
See, I've had a few comments lately. Actually, I had one nice gaslighting comment the other day about how...
you get them.
All the time, about how well he coped with the panto, and that maybe he doesn't have autism, and maybe it's just, you know, he was jealous of the baby or something. And I'm like, it's just, you find quite often that people try and gaslight you into thinking that you're kind of making it up or rigging someone else.
But the thing is,
but the fact of the matter is,
yeah, I was going to say, I'm not.
We don't film.
No, I was just about to say that.
Meltdowns. We're not going to show, and we don't. I don't want to talk about it all the time when he's had a tough day. I might say, oh yeah, he's had a tough day, but when we say, you know, he's had a tough day, that can mean that he's probably had about 18 meltdowns that day from start to finish. From the minute the other day, it was from something happened very first thing in the morning. So you're talking like 6 o'clock in the morning, something happened that tipped him over. I know it's Christmas. Yeah, everything's been very different. Everyone's at home. There's been decorations, and he's coped with it amazingly
he's done really well, actually.
Because we do the same sort of thing every single year. So it's almost like a routine, but because it's a different routine, he knows what's coming because it's Christmas and we do it every year, but it's different. It's still different. And for him, he'll cope with one situation really well, but something else, something simple, will just push him over the edge. Anybody with children with additional needs, autism, anything like that, will know exactly where I'm coming from. And it does really annoy me when people try and gaslight you into saying, well, maybe it's something else. Maybe, you know, because he coped really well with that one situation that I saw on film. So therefore, do you really think that, you know, it's anything? You have literally no idea, because the things that we put in place to get him there, and yeah, you know, some also, another thing is, not all autistic children are the same. Funnily enough, some can cope with one thing, some can't. You know, so I didn't know how he would cope when the first time I went to the panto with the fact that it's loud, but he did cope with it really well. He used to be more affected by loud noises than he is now.
Yeah.
He's not so badly affected but another child with autism will be really affected by loud noises. But it doesn't mean that one child has autism and the other child doesn't, it just means that they are different, because every single child with autism, ADHD is different and has different. This is what I hate about the whole the whole, you know, your child could be autistic if they've got this and this, and you think, well, actually, you know, what about this and this. It's really annoying.
And we're still learning.
But anyway,
we're still learning, and it's the other thing as well. It's like we don't show the fielding we do for the day as well. Like he's just about to explode because of a reason, and then you field it. You kind of bring him back down, and he's okay again, and all those sorts of things. So, you know, that's a lot of those things that we do not put in.
The majority of people that you know come onto our channel and we speak. I mean, we are not experts in this field at all, and I still feel like we're feeling around in the dark.
Still learning.
All the time. And the majority of people that come on that have children with additional needs, with autism or ADHD, or any disabilities really, most people are really supportive
and giving us great advice.
And will say, you know what? And sometimes people say that's exactly what my son's like, and other ones might say, you know, my son or daughter can't do this, but they do that, and I know exactly where you're coming from. But you do get the odd one who sort of says, well, you know, this is wrong and it must be that, and you think, okay, fair enough, but it's not a competition.
No.
It's not a competition. But the majority of people are really, really supportive on here, which is what we want to be able to do to other people.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Sometimes I feel like we don't know what the heck we're doing. We really don't. We're just literally getting through each day, but we don't go around filming every single time he has a meltdown. We just deal with it and we move on. You know?
And when we get the comments from you guys to say, you know, thank you so much, you know, you've got us through some tough times, and thank you for keeping it real, and thank you for being realistic and down to earth and all those sorts of things. We just literally film our life, or we film 35 minutes, 40 minutes of our life a day. And if that can help you guys as well, then that's absolutely amazing for us.
I think maybe
it's a real boost for us as well.
Maybe sometimes we should talk, not about Joseph, I don't mean it like that, but about some of the things, the situations that we deal with him, or for him, because
and also
it may well help other people, because I know I follow a few content creators who have children with autism, and I follow them, and they talk a little bit, not in kind of a way that would affect them, but just how it affects life and family and all that sort of stuff. And I think maybe we should do more of that, because in the same sort of way that they do it, so they don't kind of show meltdowns, or there's been a couple, but you know, it's just more about how they feel, how they deal with it, how, you know, how it can affect lots of other things, isn't it?
We should also talk, really, I think personally we should talk a bit more about teenage challenges as well. Because to be honest with you, the last couple of years we have been thrown into the teenage world, and
I think it's the last year.
The
worst.
Into the teenage world. And that's problems with all kinds of things, and you know, schooling as well, and I think
edits, ads. The teens are great. We're
they
really
are
lucky.
fantastic.
We're really lucky.
We're very lucky.
Really good bunch of teens, but
they are complex.
Teenagers are complex, and they only ever want to chat to you at like 11 at night when you're ready for bed. Then
they come alive.
They want to tell you everything there is known to man.
It's also the challenge. It's also the challenges that they face at school,
and you're like, why don't
and all
you
those sorts of things.
Get your ass up in the morning and tell me about those things. Yeah, when I'm up in the morning at like 8 o'clock, why don't you get up and then you tell me about those things? Not at 11 o'clock at night when I want to go to bed.
Bless them.
But you sit and you listen because you don't want them to think that you don't want to listen. And then they say to you, your eyes are closing, you're falling asleep, you're not listening. I am listening, I'm listening. And then I go to bed then feeling guilty that I've not listened to them. So then the next morning when they get up, I'm like, do you want to tell me properly about that now? Because I was a bit tired last night and I was falling asleep. And they're like, nah, it's not really important. And you think, but I feel guilty.
You're constantly guilt-ridden then.
I lie awake then, so I'll go to bed and then I lie awake. I lie awake because I'm worried about all the things that I might have done wrong as a parent. And then I finally get to sleep, and then Florence normally wakes me up.
Bless her.
So this is something else we're going to discuss
She's
at some
so
point
cute.
during the year, is the sleeping arrangements, because Florence isn't going to be going into the other girls' room because we have some issues, which we're going to be replacing beds with and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's kind of another
That's a whole other vlog.
vlog
Yeah.
for that one.
I think going into 2025, I think what we're trying to say is we want to be even more, show even more of, be more truthful, not truthful is the wrong word, be more open about some of the challenges that
I
we
think
face.
because of trolling, certain trolls especially, I won't mention no names because I can't be asked.
Don't want to give them airtime. to be honest.
But it does, even though you don't want it to, it does, you do have that in the back of your head all the time. What are people going to say? What are people going to say? What are people going to say? And it does...
It does tailor what you
Yeah.
want to talk about
I
sometimes.
don't want it
but
to
we're getting a bit fed up with
anymore.
that now.
I am.
And we're getting
we've
fed up
worked
about
really-
trolls winning.
We've worked really
that kind of battle
hard
as well, so.
to get to the point, because if you can imagine, anybody would feel, you know, if somebody's constantly slagging you off and constantly saying mean things to you, it's going to have an effect. But we've got to a point where we can kind of go, okay. It takes quite a lot to get to that point, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you still. But I don't want it to. I want us to be able to talk about the things we want to talk about, and, you know, help people with things that they're going through by just talking about what we want to talk about. And so I think
And
that's
be down with
another
it, to be
that's
honest.
another thing for 2025, isn't it? That,
So you'll have to let us know, guys. Shall we be more open with the challenges that we face and stuff like that? I think we've answered our own questions, to be honest. I think we will, and I think that's the way we're going, because we're kind of getting fed up with. So there are people out there that troll for a sport, and it's their pastime and it's their main thing they do all day. Some people, it's their job.
This will get picked up.
Yeah, it's their job to troll people and make
Analyse.
people
They
make people feel
they
crap.
take the videos and they analyse, and they find something they think they can use.
That's not even there.
And that's not even there. And then they try and use it, and it's just, and then they get their little band of people to
Come on over and say hello again. They're such losers,
it's
honestly.
just that'll get picked up too.
Anyway, so going into 2025, we're going to be looking at being a bit more open and honest about all that sort of stuff. And also, are you diving in? Are you?
Do you know, it's
Are you
that
diving
point
in?
where you know you don't want any chocolate, but
You diving in?
I don't even like any of these chocolates. I mean, they're just all crappy ones. I mean, who eats double deckers nowadays? It's 2025. There's some Milky Ways. Florence would like them. She likes her few
She
Milky
would.
Ways. Little
She
sort.
does.
There's some coconut ones. I mean, I could send them to my mum. She likes the coconut ones. And these dark Toblerones that nobody seems to want to eat.
So, I think what we're trying to say is we are going to be working our butts off to make as much content as possible, and we want to grow as much as possible going into 2025. And we hope with all you lovely people that like us, follow us, support us, all that good stuff, with your help, we will smash it this year.
I mean, my Instagram account is very nearly at 10,000 followers. My aim was 10,000 followers by Christmas, but it's kind of slipped a little because we're not there. I really want to build our other social media as well, like our TikTok account and my Instagram account. I really want to build them. I mean, Facebook's a bit of a minefield, because whenever anything gets picked up and it goes slightly, I wouldn't say viral because it's not viral, but it gets a lot of views, we get so many random bots coming on.
Thousands and thousands. So if you ever message us on Facebook and we don't get back to you,
We
or
don't
we
see our
don't
message.
comment,
We can't go onto our message
reply to
account.
comments or anything like that, it's because you've put your message, you've put your comment on message, whatever, and there's 1,000 after that, and you've just
We
it's
try
gone,
really
and
hard
it's
to
like,
field it, but it's very, very difficult.
Facebook is a minefield at the moment.
We
isn't
do
it?
try, but it's very difficult. But yeah, we want to build Instagram and TikTok more. So
If you fancy going over to Instagram, check
I
us
need
out.
to do like more reels and stuff, and I sit and watch other people's, and I think, oh, they're really good at doing that, and then I don't do it.
That's why I like doing the shorts.
I kind of get a little bit lost with
Yeah.
what I should be putting on and on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I put my posts on every day, but and I do my hair reels, which are really popular, and I love doing them.
And we're still going to be doing the lives on Friday. It's just that the next live we're going to be doing will be next Friday,
Which is the 6th.
it's the
The
10th.
It's
So the next
6th.
Friday, the next live we're going to be doing, we're going to be back to doing our Friday night lives from the 10th. And I was going somewhere with that as well. I was going to say something else. What was I going to say? Yeah. Oh, and I was going to talk to you about the intro music. We're going to leave the intro music.
It's somebody's birthday next week. I'm going to send them a card.
We're going to leave the intro music as it is for now, but obviously we like to mix up the intro and change it for a few.
Maybe
new
we'll
bits.
just do.
We're having a good think about it at the moment
because
about
we've had a few people say please don't change it for various really important
reasons.
And maybe we could do like we've done for Christmas and just change it
now and again
for like Easter and
Yeah.
summer or something like
Yeah,
that. But
a bit
then
of a
keep
summer
it-
vibe and then
keep
come
it
back.
the same, because I don't want to upset.
It's difficult,
Anyone,
isn't
and
it?
it is
Because I put the poll out and I've totally listened. But me and Zoe have been talking about it, and we're like, right, okay, we've had quite a few comments come on from people saying please don't change it for really, really good reasons, and it's like, right, okay.
I'm hungry.
I know, it's Chinese night, guys. Anyway, there you go. So going into 2025, guys, we are going to give it our all and try and be a bit more open as well with things that go on. Zoe's rustling a wrapper now. And we're going to go and get a Chinese. We're going to go get a Chinese in a minute.
Oh, we can't. We've got to wait for Noah.
Have we?
Apparently.
Oh, okay. Anyway, guys, that is a bit of news from us.
My hair's gone really
A bit of a catch up from us. A bit of where our thoughts are at the moment. And we wanted to do this again. They're sitting next to each other like the two Ronnies. And and all that. And we just wanted to finally say, again, thank you so much for that. Are you still rustling those papers? Thank you so much for all of your support last year and going into this year, and we're going to just try and smash it this year, definitely, and just keep getting those videos out for you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, because I really want to go home.
I know.
I really want to take the kids.
Same. To Cornwall.
To Cornwall. For like a 2-week break.
It'd be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, guys, really hope you enjoyed this little catch up. Please.
Think of the vlogs we could do.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
It'd be amazing.
It would be amazing.
All the places that we could take them to. I want to take them to the places.
Eden Project.
Eden Project. Can't go to Flambard. Down.
All the beaches, St Ives, so many places. Anyway, guys, really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel. Please hit the bell notification, drop us a like. Don't forget our links in the video description below for all of our social media, our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and Patreon. And that just leaves us both to say thank you so much, guys. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.